Hi everybody, and welcome to Cooking with Anita. So we're going to make a couple of things this evening, and I'm going to start off with showing you the ground beef. Now it's not yet cooked, but I did pre-start it because I didn't remember to take it out earlier, so it was rock hard frozen. And so now I'm actually doing 2 steamers, not 1 but 2. So that way I've got something to work on while the other one is cooking. Twice the fun, right? And yes, I do actually own 2 multi-purpose steamers. I'm thinking of getting a 3rd one. But I'm also thinking that I really need this month's Host Special, the round steamer. It's not even in the catalog. So the other thing I'm making is Epicure's caramel sauce. And I'm making this because my husband and I have an apple tree. Oh, it smells so good, in our backyard. And there we go. And we have some apples downstairs we want to enjoy. So this is whipping cream and butter and the caramel sauce. And I pre-melt the butter right in the steamer, and then I add everything else. I whisked it up, and I cooked it for 2 minutes. Now at this point, it's really not quite ready. It needs to go in for a couple more minutes, but this is our wonderful piano wire whisk, and to keep it off my counter, I just use one of our little cutting mats. And I'm using one of our cutting mats because they are colored. And I'm going to be using another one with the ground meat separator for when I'm working on the ground beef. So this is going to go back into the microwave, and the ground beef is going to come out. So that's going to start cooking now for 2 minutes. So I could use my insert tray, or I can just pinch the edges like so if I need to give this a drain. I actually have a tin can in my sink because you never should actually pour grease down your sink because it will clog your sink over time. So our wonderful handy dandy ground meat separator. Your kids could use it as a microphone. Doo-wah, doo-wah. But there we go. Let's turn the camera again. And look at that. It's that simple. Look at. I realize ground meat is not all that attractive, so I'm not doing a full-on shot. But it's just that simple to get it broken up. And I do, especially when I'm cooking from frozen, I do microwave it for a couple of minutes first. That way, any of the grease will come out of it right away, and I can drain it before I break it up. And then here's one of my other flexible cutting mats, and I'm going to put my ground meat separator down on it. So I was hoping somebody would be right here with me so we could talk about what do I want to actually make. Because we have our meal solution packages. I could do sloppy joes. And now typically if I'm going to do a sloppy joe, I'm not actually going to serve it on a bun. I would serve it maybe over some rice, over some pasta, over a baked potato, and I would have vegetables with it, because if I try to eat a sloppy joe on a bun, I am wearing it. So it's not something I make in that format. I could make beef stroganoff. Yes, I know beef stroganoff is typically strips, but guess what? It's just as good with ground beef. And oh yeah, egg noodles. Yeah, I'm not a big egg noodle fan, so I would change it up and I would use like a nice rotini or fusilli pasta. Or I'm going to make this another day and I'm going to serve it over one of our homegrown spaghetti squash. You don't have to have pasta. Or our Simply Better baked beans. Well, I could have them as beans, or I can use this to season my ground beef. Maybe I want to do shepherd's pie. And again, just really easy. Open the package, mix it in, put some mashed potatoes on top, or guess what? You don't even have to layer it like that. Bake a potato, make your pasta, do your spaghetti squash, and serve this loose over top. My vegan customers, guess what? Make it with lentils. Everything I showed you can, except with the exception of the beef stroganoff, I'm not sure about it, can be made vegan. Today though, I'm doing tacos. And I'm going to do tacos because I made guacamole, the other day with you guys, and we need some tacos to eat it with. And this is going to be supper. Tim and I had a very busy day, cutting tires, painting tires, moving tires, board walking, and you'll see pictures later. But, so, I turn my package upside down, and I give it a little tap. And then I just cut it open. I turn it upside down for two reasons. One, the instructions are at the top, so I know I'm not going to cut the instructions off. And two, when I'm doing a cooking video, I can stand the package up for photos. Okay, no, we'll do it this way. I can stand the package up for photos. So that's why I always cut the bottom off. But really, it's mainly because I don't want to cut the instructions off. Because I'm surely not the only person who has cut instructions off and then tried to piece them back together. Well, I don't have that happen. So I just give this a mix up. Again, I'm still just using my ground meat separator. And it's going to be that simple. I forgot my corner spatula. It's already in the dishwasher. And so I'll just give this a quick scrape off. That's the nice thing. It's harder silicone, so I'm not going to scratch it or anything by using the butter knife to do that. So now this is going to go back into the microwave. And the instructions tell you right on there that you just stir in the seasoning and some water. And oh gee, I missed the water. It's a good thing I've got instructions. 1 cup water. Well, I can do that the easy way. Because I'm going to need my prep bowls later on tonight, I know anyway. So you get our 1 cup prep bowl, has the measurements right on it. 1/4 cup, 1/2 cup, 3/4 cup, or a full cup. If I had been smart, I would have pre-measured out the water. But if anybody had been here to actually weigh in on what I was making, it might not have been tacos. But my husband's happy. He likes tacos. There we go. So I've mixed the seasoning in. I have mixed the water in. And there we go. And now this is going to go back into the microwave. And I'm going to get my caramel out of the microwave and check on it. I always see microwaves that open left. I would love to find one that opens right. I wonder if they make them. Okay, so now this is back to our caramel sauce. So like I said, I colored my little mats because I do not want to get the utensils mixed up. This is not an episode of Friends. So now I just give this a stir. I will angle this down a little bit for you. There you go. And this needs about 2 more minutes into the microwave, and then it can go into the fridge to set. And later this evening, Tim and I can have for from our apple tree and some caramel sauce. Okay, there's enough caramel sauce here for a couple of days. You can serve it over apple crisp, you can serve it over ice cream. Quite frankly, you can just eat it with a spoon. It is all fantastic. You can do the same thing with our fudge. And I could let this chill right down and I could make icing out of it. So we have our tacos in the microwave for another 48 seconds. But like I said, I could have done any number of other of our meal solutions just as easily. Like, that's the really great thing, is meals in minutes. Because today Tim and I really have been going nonstop. We've had our garden teenager here. She has been doing boardwalking, decking all day. Tim and I we're dealing with tires all day. We have a raised bed tire garden. So this way, I know we can have a tasty meal really quick, really easily. It's going to taste better than anything I could get for takeout. Because for one thing, it's not going to be full of salt and chemicals and preservatives. It's just full of really good food. And right now, I kind of have a freezer full of food. So, it just smells so good. So I will just give it one more mix. This will go back into the microwave now for about 1 more minute. And that is because I forgot and I used the same chopper. I tend not to use what I've used on raw on the cooked food. So that just means I have to put it back in for another minute. I'm okay with that. There we go. And then, like I said, Tim and I will have our tacos and the guacamole that I made for you guys yesterday. So yeah, so if you'd like to have your own cooking class, let me know. We can set a menu together. I can show you how I make, what I make, and when I make it. You won't get to sample it, I'm sorry, but when you do your own shopping, you can choose what you want and enjoy it that way. I'm just going to check on the caramel sauce and put the tacos back in for another minute. There we go. And oh yeah, that is bubbling away, because that's what you want. You want it to do that boil. You could do this on top of the stove. I burn things on top of the stove. Like, let's just, be totally upfront about that. And so I tend to make my rice, I tend to make my caramel sauce in the microwave. And this way I don't have to watch it as carefully. You still have to watch it. So yeah, so this is almost to the right consistency now. I can sort of tell just by tilting it back and forth. It's not quite as liquidy, but it does need about 1 more minute. The ground beef will be done in 10 seconds, and then I can get this in. And it really is that simple to cook. And this was 17 minutes, and I have dessert, and Tim and I have supper. I would have, if I had been making the guacamole, I would have made it while I was cooking the ground beef, and it's just that simple. So you really can have meals ready in minutes with your Epicure steamer, your seasoning blends, and I would love to help you get your own, either as a customer or as a host, and get them for free. Anyway, thank you very much for tuning in and watching, and I'll talk to you another time. Bye-bye.